the one, the only, Ben
Morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun to Lean On. Today we did our Chaim Siman Reish Pei Dalet, which talks about the dinim of the Haftorah on Shabbos. The Haftorah was really not really supposed to be. There was no, when Moshe Rabbeinu was masakin Kriyas HaTorah on Shabbos, right, which I mentioned yesterday or 2 days ago, is similar to Kriyas HaTorah on Yantiv. Moshe Lam Tikein She'oskim Be'inyana Shal Yom, B'Soch HaYom, right? That's why you read portions of the Torah that correspond to Yom Tovim, and the Kriyas Torah every week, the Parsha of the Shavua, is supposed to be related to the Iyun of that week, whatever week it falls on. And that's part of the takana that Moshe Rabbeinu made. The Haftorah was a takana that was made in times when the non-Jewish government did not allow them to read Kriyas Torah on Shabbos. So they substituted a Haftorah, which could be done much more discreetly, and they only read 21 psukim, 3 psukim for the 7 aliyahs. But the minhag was the takana was never removed, because you can't remove a takana unless you have a basin which is gadol and chachma minyan. So therefore we keep this takana, although it's less strict than kriyas haTorah, and therefore in halacha dal we see that a katan yachal after a katan could read the haftarah, as opposed to Reish Pei Beis 282. We talked about a katan can only get an aliyah on Shabbos, right? A katan could actually read the haftarah. Now, what's the distinction? Let's just spell it out very clearly. There's 3 things over here. Kriyas HaTorah on Monday, Thursday, and Shabbos afternoon. That Ezra was masaking those things. He's masaking. That was an early takana. Ezra was masaking those things in order to make sure that people didn't go 3 days without learning Torah. Now, the mitzvah to learn Torah every day is a mitzvah d'oraisa. So if you don't listen to Kriyas HaTorah, but you learn Torah, you're yotzei the mitzvah of Torah. It's just to make sure you and the tzibur are yotzei. So for those halachas I mentioned, that a katan can't even get an aliyah. I believe a katan can't even get an aliyah during those Kriyas HaTorahs. The reason is because the purpose is to motzi the tzibur in the mitzvah of liman HaTorah. There's a mitzvah of liman HaTorah d'oraisa. A katan is only obligating the rabbanan. The rabbanan can't be motzi someone who's chayav d'oraisa. You want to be motzi the whole tzibur, you can't be yotzei. However, Kriyas HaTorah on Shabbos, I mentioned, is only the rabbanan. It's because the end of the Megillah, Mesachas Megillah, and the Avlam and Beis, where Moshe was masakin, to Dorshin, Sholin v'Dorshin, B'Inyana Shal Yom, B'Tzoch HaYom. He's supposed to learn Hilchos Pesach on Pesach itself, not just before Pesach, and Shavuos and Shavuos. That's why you also have Kriyas HaTorah that's relevant to all the Yom Tovim. You say on the Yom Tovim, and Shabbos also. Shabbos, the Moed of Shabbos is that week's Parsha, which I believe is included in Moshe Rabbeinu's Takana. But the purpose of that, to read a portion of the Torah in Yana Shiyam, they weren't concerned about not learning Torah, because you're already learning Torah on Shabbos afternoon. That was part of the Takana. This is only a mitzvah d'Rabbanan. There's 2 brachas by Torah, by learning Torah. In the morning we say, Lasok b'divrei Torah, right? It's the first bracha. And the second bracha, Asher Baruch Rabanu. Now, Asher Baruch Rabanu is Del Raisa, but according to most opinions, Lasok b'divrei Torah is only the Rabbanan. The Asek in divrei Torah. And that really includes what type of Torah you're learning, right? You have to learn Torah. Any Torah is okay. You could even be yotzei with Kriyat Shema, Shachas, or Arvis. But then, Midrabanan, you're also supposed to learn Torah that's relevant to what you're learning, or be part of some seder of limud, like Daf Yomi or something like that, where you're going to learn things that are going to help you continue learning. That's the kind of Midrabanan, to have an asek, a business of learning Torah. A business is very organized. A business is done that it should be profitable on a continual basis. Something you're involved in every day. So that mitzvah of learning in Yano Shal Yom, learning about Pesach on Pesach, or the week's parsha, on that week's parsha, is midarabanan, a mitzvah derabanan. So on Shabbos, the whole purpose of Kriyas HaTorah is in Yano Shal Yom Tochem, which is only a kriya mitzvah derabanan. It's a mitzvah derabanan for the tzibur. Therefore, a katan who's obligated midarabanan in Torah, right, and he's saying the bracha Asher Baruch Rabanu on the Kriyas HaTorah, it's a bracha d'oraisa. He's only obligated derabanan. He could be motzi the tzibur. Again, Kriyas HaTorah is only a chiv on the tzibur in all cases. He can motzi the tzibur, because a derabanan can be motzi derabanan. And by Haftorah, the reason a katan can even read it from the Haftorah and quote unquote be moti people is because it's a takana for a takana. Just like in goes ring zera l'zera, you don't make a takana on a takana. The whole takana of Kriyas Torah on Shabbos is only a takana Moshe Rabbeinu made, that you should learn the osek b'divrei Torah. You should have a seder alimud, a seder in parshios, just like Torah Shabbat Peh. You learn Daf Yomi, Torah Shabbat. We have the 52 weeks a year. We read the 52 parshios. You should also have a seder in that. So that's a mitzvah d'Rabbanan, but The concept of Haftorah is only to fill in time of Gzeira when they weren't able to learn to have the regular Kriyas Torah. Nowadays we do have regular Kriyas Torah, so the takana remains in place, but it's only a takana for a takana. And it goes just like you don't make a Gzeira for a Gzeira, you don't make a takana for a takana. So therefore, the whole concept of reading the Haftorah is something which is not really a chiyuv at all, basically, even with the Rabbanan. So therefore, a katan could be motzi other people in the Haftorah and actually read the Haftorah, and that's why the halacha is as it is. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.